Hey guys, my name is Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. I just pulled up to a very large estate sale. It is a 3-day long event, but I'm here about an hour after opening on day one. There's a ton of cars here and it looks crazy crowded. This is a really popular estate sale company and I've been to their sales a lot. It's always a really good sale, but this also has like 2 outbuildings full of antiques and an indoor just regular like house estate sale. So I know there's a ton to see. I don't know what I'll buy because I don't know how much is left. Honestly, a lot of this stuff sells out really fast, but thought I'd take you along to see what we can find. Now, as you can see, there's already a line as I'm walking up to the front of this sale. I actually love this property. It's really close to town, but it was super secluded. It had a nice long driveway, and then it's all just kind of set back in these woods. It's literally like a mile away from our nearest hospital though, so it's like so close to the center of town with also just feeling super private. So I really loved the property. And this little shed that I went straight to apparently was an antique store for several years, but it's been closed for, I want to say I heard like 6 to 8 years. My mom and dad actually ended up coming to this sale and they got this chifforobe. I don't know that they paid $150. They might have gone on the day it was half off, but really good quality piece of furniture, but just required a ton of cleanup. But anyway, like I was saying, this used to be an antique store. So definitely my favorite kind of estate sale to find, one where you're actually looking at someone who's been a collector for the years. It's actually a dream of mine to someday have property where I could also have like a shed that I could sell out of. I just think that would be a really fun way to run a business like this with a little bit less cost, hopefully overhead. But anyway, that's just something to think about for the future. There was a ton of Christmas, of course, but it's so hard for me to buy Christmas items when it's 95 degrees outside. So I left all of that behind, and there's going to be more Christmas that you'll see later in the basement. It was really crowded while I was shopping through here, so it's kind of hard for me to take a good video for you. I'm sorry if sometimes it's moving a little quickly. But there was so much to see that I just kind of want to keep this video going. My mom did end up buying this really cute farm table. It was $40 on the first day. I'm pretty sure she bought it on the first day, so she paid $40, but she might have gone the next day and got it half off if I remember right. So a little foggy there. I love this chalkboard, which you will see later in the video. And then I honestly just forgot to go ask for a price for these, but I love finding little pieces of like wooden architectural pieces that I can turn into a sign. So that was kind of a miss on my part. I just forgot to go back. This was a really cute little piece of furniture, but like I said, it had been kind of closed down in here for a few years, and so a lot of this stuff was really, really dirty and just more work than I can do while I'm pregnant right now, especially in this heat. But if it had been in a little bit better condition, there would have been so many other pieces that I would have bought. As you can see, there's just tons of different knickknacks and small items. A really cute fall display here. And the buffet this is sitting on is another piece that my parents grabbed. It is a beast, but it is really amazing. And $95 for that. I think they went on the second day and got that half off. So it was 40 something dollars. And it is such a cool piece of furniture, really solid wood. I love that picture down on the floor of the man on the horse. I wish I would have grabbed that. Now this is actually inside the house now. This is like the living room space. Like I said, they had a ton of Christmas. I really liked this tree. I just didn't want to pay $35 for it. But I think that would have been fun to display in my booth. So I'm kind of kicking myself for not grabbing that. My favorite places to hunt in an estate sale are in the kitchen and the basement. I mean, that is also secondary to if they have an antique shed like they did at the beginning, but in general, a kitchen and a basement is where I find most of my items. So I've come down here to the basement now. Lots of holiday items down here. But this is normally where I can find some like old wood pieces that I can upcycle. I didn't end up finding any for today's video. So if you are a Christmas collector, this would have been a dream. I just did not feel like messing with all of the Christmas decor. I really liked these little trumpets though. I wish I would have grabbed a couple of those. Also, make sure you stay to the end of the video because I do show you guys kind of like a vignette that I would make in my booth. I'm just kind of doing it at home though and showing you items in my house along with what I bought today. So I think that's kind of a really fun addition for showing you my estate sale haul, but also giving you a look at how I would build a vignette. So now I finally made it up to the kitchen. I've been avoiding it for a few minutes now because it was so crowded in here. There's a ton of just antique bakeware and some copper. I just think for it being day one, I didn't want to pay some of those full prices for the things. But there was so much to see, and I really, really enjoyed looking through everything. There were a ton of really beautiful baskets, and I really liked this hutch a whole lot. It would have been something kind of easy for me to load in my car because it was 2 pieces, but it was just too crazy today for me to get into there. I liked that crock full of knives. I thought that was cool. Lots of Pyrex over here, some collectible Disney things, which I'm sure there's a buyer out there for. Lots of salt and pepper shakers. And then one of the last places I visited, which I didn't even notice at first, but if you take a path kind of off the back of the property, there was a full garage back there. The only thing I was interested in was this little dresser here for $50. It was just another matter of it being really, really dirty and also just so far away from my car. So if I would have come on a day where it wasn't so hot or I wasn't so pregnant, I probably would have grabbed a lot more. But this is just how things are right now. I had to be a little bit more selective. I ended up only buying 4 items at the estate sale, but I really love everything that I was able to grab, and I feel like I got a really good price on everything. First up is this slate vintage chalkboard. It's so cute. I love the character of the frame, and the frame is still fully intact. It has its little chalk tray on the bottom. So for 20 bucks, I thought that was a really great deal. I love the Meadow Sweet Gardens on there. That must have been something that she did on her property. So I loved finding that. And then I found a couple green things that just kind of caught my eye. First is this little riser. I only paid $6 for this. I just thought it had a lot of good character. It's definitely not antique or vintage, but like I said, I thought it had a lot of good character. I liked that it was kind of lightly distressed, and of course I love that shade of green. And then the next thing was just this little box, which is also not truly antique, but still looks really pretty on a shelf. And then the fourth item is this really beautiful wooden corbel. I only paid $8 for this. I can't tell that it's truly antique. It's probably not, but I loved the character of this piece. I love the darkness of the wood and how aged it looks. So even if it's not actually old, I thought it had a ton of really good old world charm. And I'll give you a closer look at this at the end of the video. Corbels definitely don't have to just be used on the wall. You can stand them up like I have here on the table and use it almost like a bookend or just a shelf sitter. I think it's really, really pretty. And now I'm going to take a couple minutes to continue to build my vignette here with other things from around my house, just to give you an example of how I would put a booth space together if I was doing this up in my actual antique booth. Okay, so here's just a little example of a vignette that I might make in my booth, Green Onion Vintage. Of course, this is just me after, 6 minutes of running around my house. So ideally, I would have a little more time to work on it in my booth space. I definitely take longer to create how the booth looks. It's definitely a learning process. But as you can see, I really try to stick to one color story and give it just a lot of layers and visual interest. So I hope you kind of enjoyed watching that process get built, and I'm going to walk you through it a little closer now. Thanks for spending time with me today as I go through this estate sale haul. I hope you enjoyed this video and watching me make a vignette for you. I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.